Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today doing the what's next on Jai Opetai, the undefeated and new IBF Cruiserweight champion of the world at 200 pounds. He pretty much has claimed the top spot at 200 pounds following his upset 12-round unanimous decision over Mairis Breidis on July 2nd of this year. Again, that was a major upset. Breidis is a long-time champion, you know, and a three-time champ, and really Breidis ever since like 2016 was a serious player in the 200-pound division. So Opetai finally got a convincing win. That was only the second of Breidis' career, and now he is a new player at Cruiserweight. So we're gonna run through the top 10 and see what possibly could be next for the new undefeated champion. So we start with a potential rematch with Mairis Breidis, and I don't think that's going to happen. Breidis hasn't been calling for it. I don't know if it's something Breidis would want or if he just wants to throw his hands up, but that's what it looks like. It looks like Breidis his heart has not been in the Cruiserweight division since he won the World Boxing Super Series. It really hasn't. He's only stayed around here because they're the best fights that he could potentially get, but he's explored the option of moving to heavyweight, and now that he's lost, heavyweight, it's either heavyweight, in my opinion, it's probably either heavyweight or retirement. If he wants to keep continuing at 200 pounds, maybe he seeks a rematch, but I really doubt it. Number 3, Uni or Dorticos. I'm not seeing this one. Dorticos is #1 contender in the WBA. He's a high-risk fight, but I'm telling you, Opetai doesn't look like he's afraid of anybody, and if he could beat Dorticos and add Dorticos to his resume, he just continues to build that resume, and I think that's a solid-ass name. So I'm going to lean towards the no because Dorticos is #1 contender, but because he's so widely avoided, and with the WBA being so, so up in arms, like we don't know what the hell's going to happen because Gulamirian, the champion, hasn't fought in over 2.5 years. He's been out of action, and the regular champion Riyad Merhi hasn't fought. We really don't know what's going to happen with the WBA title, so maybe it could be a possibility, but right now I'm leaning towards the less likely. Number 4, undefeated WBO champion Lawrence Okolie. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if these two guys signed on to fight each other, but I don't think they will. I think this is a fight because Okolie looks like he's coming back to stay busy on the Joshua Usyk undercard. But what I think is they're probably going to let this fight brew into next year since they're both undefeated champions on the rise and have made the biggest splash within the past calendar year. You know, Okolie, past year and a half, has made a statement and made himself a serious player and is a WBO champ. And then you got Opetai. I think they're going to look into potentially unifying titles and then going head-to-head sometime next year. That makes more sense, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if Opetai said, fuck it, let's do it next, because I know Okolie is looking for unification bouts, so we'll see. Number 5 is Ilunga Makabu, the WBC champion. As of right now, I'm not seeing it because I think Makabu is going to be tied to mandatory defenses. That's what I see happening. But, excuse me guys, I've been a little sick lately. But if that fight does not happen, if a mandatory fight does not happen next, maybe Makabu will be interested, but I really think Don King's going to keep him away from Opetai, so I don't see that one happening. Next is Noel Gavor. Gavor just locked up the WBC's #2 spot with a convincing win over Yuri Kalenga. So I think Gavor is going to be probably put into a mandatory fight, like a final eliminator against Alexei Papin. That's what I see happening next. Or Papin's going to get the shot and Gavor's going to wait around for the winner. One of those two. I don't think Opetai wants to give Gavor a chance right now when he's not a big name and he's kind of got an awkward style. I think he has better options, so I'm going to say no to that. Next up is Alexei Papin, a former world title challenger. Papin has been waiting around for a title shot for quite a while now. If he doesn't get the crack against Makabu in a rematch next. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Papin got a crack at Opetai, but it's another one where I think Papin might wait around for that title shot, that mandatory one at WBC, but it's kind of unknown. And again, it's one of those ones where I wouldn't be surprised if Opetai said fuck it and signed on to fight Papin. Number 8 now is former world title challenger Tabiso Mushunu. This one I wouldn't be surprised by, because Mushunu is coming off of that controversial loss to Ilunga Makabu, where in a fight where a lot of people thought he got robbed in. So why not Opetai fight a guy like that? It would put it, and if he's convincing, it puts him just a notch above, without question, above the other champions like Makabu. So it kind of makes a statement. It's not a bad option if he can't get like a unification bout next. Next is Mikel Cieslak, former world title challenger. You know, it really wouldn't make sense for Opetai to fight Cieslak. Cieslak lost the close decision to Makabu. Then he lost kind of a wider decision earlier this year to Okoli for the WBO title. So why would Opetai fight him next? What kind of, unless he went in there and knocked him out, it really doesn't kind of put him anywhere ahead of Okoli. And if he beats him and say it's not as convincing as Okoli, then he kind of gets knocked down a notch. So it's one of those risky fights that doesn't really make sense right now, so I don't see it. And then you have the two, you have Sergey Kovalev and you have Badu Jack sitting there tied at 10. Two former champs, veterans, names. I think Opetai would fight either one of them if they wanted the fight. But it's one of those ones where I'm not sure if they do want the fight. So I think both those guys might just wait around for something else. So Jai Opetai, very tough cruiserweight champion, looking to continue to make a name for himself next, and hopefully he gets a solid contender before the end of the year and can make a statement in a title defense. But we'll see what happens. He's coming off of a huge win over Mairis Breidis. I think the options are wide open, and we'll see what goes down for Opetai in his next fight. That's what I got. That's the what's next on Jai Opetai, the undefeated IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.